The Regulation H rule set has just been announced, and as you guys can see in front of you here, we have some absolutely spicy information. I think we are in for what might be the most fun format we have had for the entirety of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So, as you guys can see here in front of you, this is just a post from Victory Road, basically going over the TLDR of the next regulation, essentially. So, September through January, that is obviously 4 months, so it is going to be another 4-month format, similar to what we had with Regulation G. But the main thing here, and the most important thing in my opinion, all Paradox, Treasures of Ruins, and Legendary Pokemon will be ineligible. Now, I will pull up Cerebi in a second, and at the time of recording this as well, literally Showdown just updated. Literally, I was getting all my shit ready for this, but when I got home, Showdown hadn't updated. Showdown's updated now, so you can literally go build in Showdown now. It's going to be super, super sick. But the one bad thing, I guess, here is Regulation G will be back in January through April, which it sucks because I most likely have 2 regionals on that format. But obviously that does likely lead us into a double restricted format going into the World Championships, which we will then likely, hopefully move on to a new game, whether that be Pokemon Legends Arceus or, you know, whatever they decide we're going to be playing on. But yeah, let's pull up Cerebi here and basically take a look and, you know, just kind of discuss my thoughts. So as you guys can see here, basically the information we just saw, you know, back on Twitter, these are basically all the banned Pokemon, right? As you guys can see, it's literally every single legendary Pokemon you can imagine, right? A lot of really good Pokemon. Obviously, all the restricted are gone. You know, Heatran, which in, you know, the previous formats was one of the better fire types. Crest not being in the game, with Crest Luna also would have been really, really impressive. No more Genies is unreal because it now means that some of the other Tailwind support Pokemon are going to have a chance. Pokemon like Talonflame, Murkrow, of course, Whimsicott are all going to be really, really solid. Losing Landorus does mean we lose one of the better ground types in a non-restricted format as well. Just a lot of great Pokemon here. Obviously, we're losing Urshifu, thank God. We can actually run more than like one water type. And, you know, before the restricted, Urshi was number 1, Ogerpon Wellspring was number 2. Of course, Ogerpon Wellspring also banned. My guy Chiyu, rest in peace. That's the one that hurts me the most, right? But no more Bolt, you know, being annoying as shit. No more Hands, and of course, no more Fluttermane. I think people forget Fluttermane was like the most dominant Pokemon in every format leading up to the current one. But yeah, obviously, that's basically every Pokemon there that is unavailable. We will pull up here. This is just the website I've been using basically to look at the all the eligible Pokemon. Now, one thing I will say here is I didn't expect that to have to load, but it is what it is. I'm only going to just briefly touch on this. I do have a video planned for later tonight. I'm going to, you know, get in a call with some of the boys. We're basically going to be talking about all of this stuff. And of course, as well, Showdown, for anyone, I guess, who didn't see, Showdown's updated, which is also really, really cool, right? You can actually go through, and yeah, like, I'm just going to give my brief thoughts on some of these mons, just some really quick ideas. But I will say, I'm just super excited. This, to me, looks like it is going to be the best format we've had for the entirety of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I'm just going to say it right now. I think losing the powerhouses, like the Tornadoes, the Urchis, I think is unbelievably good. And of course, losing the oppressive Paradox Pokemon as well, right? Obviously, we're losing Fluttermane, one of the best Pokemon for the entire format, right? We're losing things like Raging Bolt. Even Roaring Moon, obviously, is the one we haven't seen too much as of late. But I do think is going to be really, really good. You know, so it could have been really, really good, obviously, in the current format. But yeah, just like looking through some of these mons here, I'm not going to go too in depth, because again, I'm going to kind of save that for later. And if you guys are interested, obviously, you know, this is just my first thoughts. It's my initial, like, you know, this is what could be good, what might not be good. But if, yeah, of course, like, stick around later tonight, hopefully only like maybe 3-4 hours after this video goes up. I'll have a video with all the boys, just kind of, you know, chatting the shit. We'll go pretty in depth on a lot of this. But yeah, I just want to like do my initial thoughts here. So the Kanto starters, I think they all have potential. Obviously Venusaur and Charizard are both really good in Sun. And I could definitely see a world where Charizard could legitimately be the best fire type in the format. It's probably not going to be. Hisuian Arcanine, in my opinion, probably holds that. At least offensively, of course. Like, technically, Incin's probably going to be the best one. But Incin obviously isn't quite as offensive as things like Charizard, Hisuian Arcanine. I could definitely see a world as well where Blastoise potentially, you know, in the right set, could just run Shell Smash. Like, we're in a format now where, without the Callies and whatnot, I'm pretty sure, like, let's pull it up real quick. Blastoise. How fast is Modest Blastoise if you just max it out? Yeah, I mean, that actually outspeeds Callie, right? As it is. So, yeah, there's probably a world where, like, who's our fastest mod in the format? Polt, right? Which is, like, 107? Yeah, you only need, like, 107 to outspeed Polt. So, something like that outspeeds Dragapult, and then you just go, like, Modest. And then just, like, start maxing out your defense. Something like that. But yeah, I could see a world where that's really cool, and then you just go, like, White Herb or something like that, right? Yeah, just go, like, White Herb. I mean, it needs a better ability, but then you just go, like, Shell Smash. And Water Spout, that one, yeah. Yeah, something like that I think would be like really, really cool. Definitely has some potential as well. Of these guys, probably none of them are good. I think both Ninetales have a niche. Alolan Ninetales definitely will be better. I think this is one that could honestly just play by itself, which I think is like super duper interesting. Golduck in Rain, potentially. Primeape we'll get to later. I definitely think the Arcanine forms are both pretty solid. Both the Polys as well. I could see a world where both Poliwrath and Politoed end up being pretty damn good. Alolan Muck, I will say, kind of scares me because like the Muck, Smeargle, and Flamigo stuff is not something I really want to deal with, if I'm being honest. I really don't want to deal with it. But who knows? I think Haze is going to be really good in the current metagame. I think Tauros forms are both back. Aqua Breed and Blaze Breed could both be really solid. Of course, Electabuzz and Magmar, two of the better redirection mons. Gyarados, once again, will come back. I think this is going to be an incredibly good Pokemon. Palafin, I do expect to be one of the better mons in the format. And, you know, Gyarados is just one of the better switch-ins, right? It's a water type, very bulky on the special defensive side, has Intimidate. Very, very solid mon. Lax is going to be really good under Trick Room. D-Knight did lose its best friend Shen Pao, but of course we have our weakness policy Trico shenanigans. You know, you just got like Terra Normal E-Speed. You click the upper hand into it, activate the weakness policy. Really freaking good. Of the Johto starters, the only one probably worth mentioning would be the Hisuian Typhlosion. Because technically, like, Scarf Eruption's probably good. We don't have Heatran anymore. Maybe Ceruledge and Armarouge see some play though, so maybe I'm wrong. I mean, we have Baby Fluttermane, probably not worth it. Yeah, I probably can't zoom in any more than it. I just realized you guys are actually like missing the side of the screen. Hold up. Yeah, damn. Feels fucking bad, dude. Professional YouTuber, boys. Professional YouTuber. The Electrodes as well. Some of the guys in the Discord were talking about Electrode being like potentially good. Which, by the way, if you're on the Discord, join the Discord. Links down in the description. You know, we've been having a good chit chat about you know, this format and how exciting it looks. Weezing's another mon I just realized as well that could be really interesting. Weezing plus like Slaking and Regigigas could have a lot of potential in the current format. Anything else here cool? My guy Heracross looking really sick, not gonna lie. Ursa Ring, we'll get to you later when we see the big form EU. Of course, as well, Kingdra, one of the better Rain Sweepers in the game in a format where maybe Rain's pretty good. P2, obviously going to be absolutely goated on Trick Room. Smeargle, I'm super interested to see how Smeargle goes because there is a lot of cool things you can do with Smeargle. There is a lot of cool things you can do. Of course, we have Hitmontop as well, who's always like pretty solid. Titar, losing the Urshifus, losing like Iron Hands and all that, Titar stocks just go straight up. We basically just like lost all the good fighting types. Like, what are our good fighting types in the format right now? Like, I think Annihilate is the best fighting type in the format. We can get to that later though. I mean, Komodo actually also is up there as like pretty good. Maybe there's a world where like Ape, Blaziken, like maybe these starters end up being pretty good. Mienfoo is probably not good. Conkeldurr could be good. Flamigo on the right team is probably good. Tauros is probably good. I mean, Hisuian Lilligant actually will definitely be one of the better ones. But yeah, like there's actually not that many like amazing fighting types. Like I don't look at any of these besides like Annihilate and think, fuck, like that's an amazing fighting type. Maybe Komodo as well, actually. Like Komodo plus Clef is like always a good thing, right? It's just solid. Of course, the Hoenn starters here. I'm gonna try and make all three, you know, of the the Sceptile ones work. Although in saying that, Sceptile probably need a Miraidon. Grovyle was really cool for the team I used it in. But Trico, honestly, Trico plus D-Knight is probably pretty cash. We also have Ludi. Ludi is probably going to be really good. Obviously, we'll get to it shortly, but I think Dozo, Palafin are going to be two of the best ones in the format. So being able to 4x resist both of them and also deal super effective damage is really, really big. Of course, Pelipper, one of the better range setters, is going to be really good. Gardevoir could be in the conversation for one of the best fairies as well. Obviously, now we literally just have no good fairies. Or I don't want to say no good fairies, but we'll kind of get to it as we go on. Of course, Torkoal's going to be solid. Very good Sunsetter, especially in Trick Room. We have the Don. Crawdon, probably not good, but I love that mon. Milo is another really good mon, I think. The Coil Milo sets are probably going to go crazy, especially with competitive. Dusclops could definitely come back as one of the best Trick Room setters, especially because we lost a lot of the good Dark types as well. Also, the main Fairy type, that's the main Ghost types. Sceptile and Salamence and Metagross could both have really cool niches as well. Funny enough, I've been looking at Groddle before this format dropped. A Violite Groddle could actually go crazy. Really good support set, super bulky, and like Leech Seed of Violet's like pretty nutty. Even like Ape and Empoleon, I could see a world where like Ape is one of the better Fake Out plus fighting types. And of course, Empoleon being like a competitive water type is pretty solid. Anything else cool here? Probably like Floateezy, maybe, and like Rain is good. Gastro, like, I mean, Gastro kind of always has a place. Did I talk about Murkrow? I see Honchkrow here. Don't know if I spoke about Murkrow, but yeah, Murkrow's probably back as one of the better Tailwind setters. Obviously, incredibly good into Dondozo, and very good at pairing with Golden Go as well, which is definitely something worth keeping in mind here. Could definitely see a world where Bronzong is also a very good Trick Room setter, especially next to things like Ursaluna. Garchomp in some of those cores are, paired up with like, say like Rotom or Kilowattrel is obviously really solid. Of course, I also really like the Garchomp D-Knight Earthworm set as well. I think they're pretty solid, not gonna lie. Abomasnow as a rain set, sorry, as a weather setter maybe is good, probably not though. PZ is a mon I'm a huge fan of. It does feel like we're lacking any insane special attackers, so maybe there's a world where PZ actually becomes quite good. Superior definitely has more of a chance now to be good as well. Contrary plus Leaf Storm is just a pretty broken combination. T-Tar Extra Drill honestly looks pretty solid. Conk could definitely be one of the better fighting types in the format as well. Whimsicott, obviously one of the premier Tailwind setters right now, one of the premier support Pokemon. I mean, it's good in Reg G. I don't think it's going to fall off in Reg H. As I said, Lilligant, definitely really good on Sun teams. Could definitely be one of the better, fighting types and Sun abusers. I can see a world as well where a good friend down here, Zoroark, is really good because one mon I think we're going to see rise up a lot is going to be Ape, Mouse Ape in particular. And this mon just hardballs Mouse Ape. Yeah, you can't be hit with fighting moves, can't be hit with ghost moves, can't be hit with normal moves. Yeah, I think that's just going to hardball Mouse Ape. Goth as well. I was talking to some of the guys on the Discord. Politoed Perish Trap seems like it could be solid. Definitely something to keep an eye out for. Of course, Amoonguss, the mushroom stocks are up. The mon's always good. Can't really complain about that. Hydreigon also in a format with like no fairy type that looks completely dominant. It's probably really solid. Definitely worth keeping in mind. Volk is a redirection mon as well. Plus a setup sweeper, always really solid. Talonflame, my guy Talonflame, I brought into my first ever event. Looks like one of the better Tailwind setters, I'm not going to lie. Has the ability to potentially one-shot Whimsicott's on lead as well. Definitely worth keeping in mind. Yeah, it's looking pretty solid. Sylveon, definitely one of the better fairy types. Hisui and Gudra could be pretty good. The Iron Defense Body Press stuff looks really solid right now. Of course, Incin, arguably the best one in the format. Primarina, also looking to be really good. Probably, top 3 fairy in the format right now. Especially in a metagame where, the power level's a bit lower, I could definitely see Primarina being really good, especially like Carmine stuff. I mean, Spider, honestly, probably good, right? I could see a world where like Spider on like some Blood Moon Trick Room teams is really good. Excuse me. Mimikyu, obviously one of the better Trick Room setters, one of the better fairy types. Komodo, definitely one of the best setup sweepers in the game. We have the Iron Defense stuff as well as the Clangor of Soul shenanigans. Rillaboom, obviously, we all know what Rillaboom does. I was looking at Intelligent earlier today. Intelligent plus Sceptile Dragon Cheer could go kind of crazy, I'm not going to lie. You just like go Terra Dragon, you resist Fire Water Grass stuff, and you start Water Sniping everything with Sniper. Corv, obviously pretty solid, dude. Like, there's just so much, man. Like, to me, losing those like top 10 mons is actually going to be insane, right? Especially too, because I think a big thing you got to remember with mons like Rillaboom and Sin is they're obviously fantastic mons. Do not get me wrong. They're really good. They're going to be at the top of the usage again. But the reason they're so good is their ability to control Pokemon in really powerful formats. So when the power level comes down a little bit, their roles kind of change. And look, Rillaboom's still probably going to be the best grass type in the format. But it's going to be really interesting to see how it adapts. And then we also have here Hat as well. Side Spam's going to be big. I was talking to Bravado earlier. Definitely going to showcase some of his teams. If you guys don't know who Bravado is, one of the best side spam players in the world. He's been putting out a bunch of teams earlier today on Twitter. So definitely go check him out. I'll leave a link in the description, and I'll definitely cover some of those teams in the video later today. Grimmsnarl, obviously stocks go up. No Urshifu to go through its screens anymore, which is obviously very good. Of course, Indeedee side spam shenanigans are going to be really solid. Dragapult back to being the fastest mon in the format, and it now doesn't have to deal with Flutter Mane, which is sick. But now this is where we get to some of the really scary stuff. The 2 Pokemon I think that are going to run the metagame are the 2 Ursaluna forms. These guys are basically restricted Pokemon as it is. They are both incredibly strong. Obviously, they have all the pieces they need to set up Trick Room, right? You have things like Giraffe, Incin, Rillaboom. You can safely get up your Trick Room, safely get into your Beasts. And yeah, then they can kind of just sweep through. So yeah, that's kind of scary. I'm not going to lie. Basculegion also looks like one of the better rain sweepers. Sneasler also has the potential to be one of the better fighting types. Meowscarada, the king of Regulation A, is back finally. No more Flutter Mane to ruin its day. Obviously back to being one of the fastest Pokemon in the format. Is really good. I think it's like one of the few mons as well that probably outspeeds Adamant Dragapult naturally, right? If you go Jolly on Dragapult. How fast is like Adamant Pult? It's like 194. Oh, I don't think it gets it. I think Meowscarada with Jolly hits 193, right? Yeah, I've also got caps on. Pretty sure this hits 193 off memory. 192, okay. So yeah, like you still get outsped by Adamant Pulp, but still. Honestly, not bad. Skeledirge as well. A lot of people forget this is actually one of the better answers into Dondozo because you just go like Terra Grass unaware, and then you just like Will-O-Wisp it, and then just start Torch Songing up. And then by the time it finally goes down, you're like +4. So that's definitely something worth keeping in mind. Quackwaval as well, definitely one of the better fighting types in the format. I could definitely see a world where like SD plus Aqua Step Moxie just like runs through teams. Not to mention, it's just like a poor man's Urshifu, right? It hits like just as hard. It's a little bit slower, but Aqua Step obviously makes up for it. It just doesn't like hit through Protect or crit all the time. Pawmot, obviously really solid. Mousehold going to be one of the scariest ones in the format. I don't see a world where Well-Baked Body is actually good right now. Garganackle, another one that could be pretty solid. Armarouge and Side Spam, watch out for it. Ceruledge is a bulk up setup mon, one of the better ghost types in the format, could definitely be really good. Killer Wattrel, as I said earlier, like Killer Wattrel paired up with like Garchomp is gonna go like crazy, dude. It's gonna be fucking crazy. Bramblecast probably falls off with like the lack of like Urshi plus what's it called? Urshi plus Tornadus, which is kind of sad. Dude, maybe like maybe Scovillain actually becomes one of the better fire sweepers as well, which would be kind of crazy. Big Tink probably gets worse, I'd say. Probably better in a restricted format. Palafin, obviously the major winner. Palafin, in a world where Urshifu doesn't exist, is like the best water type in the game. But its main issue is it needs a turn to set up. Urshi doesn't. So Palafin instantly, in my opinion, becomes the best water type in the game. You go like Urshi, Incin, and... sorry, Urshi. You go Palafin, Incin, Rillaboom. You got a Fire, Water, Grass Claw. They all have pivot moves. Fucking goes crazy, man. Shedtail shenanigans as well with Cyclizar. Didn't mention it earlier with Sceptile, but Shedtail is definitely really good. Speaking of Shedtail, Earthworm, again, we said that earlier. Pair with D-Knight Garchomp, really good. Glamora also looks insane. Like, Glimdozo is back so fucking hard, man. It actually scares me. Speaking of Glimdozo, like Dozo, this mon's gonna be fucking insane. Dozo is gonna run the metagame. Once again, it's, yeah, the options are thin. I don't think Murkrow as a Tailwind setter is as good as it was in Reg A. We're gonna have to find ways to counter this mon. It's gonna be a piece of shit, I'm not gonna lie. Annihilate also looks like the mon that could be like the best in the format. If Incin remains at like the absolute tippy top usage, I see a world where like Terrify Annihilate just is the best Pokemon in the game. Like, as I said before, you put this thing next to Mousehold, what are you doing? Like, we have no good like ghost types, man. We have no good fairy types. Like, look at this shit, yeah? You're a fairy, man. Look at this. Like, what fairy type here is beating it? Like, yeah, like, sure, you could say, like, oh, Sylveon, like, Prim. Yeah, they're not bad. Like, sure, like, Primarina beats Terrafire, but, like, I'm next to a Mousehold. I've got Friend Guard. I'm going to bulk up once. You're going to hit me. I'm going to Rage Fist you at +1. Maybe I'm, like, +2 on my Rage Fist stacks. I'm just going to one-tap you. Yeah, I don't know. The fairy types are looking super thin. Probably Psyspam is going to be the best answer to it, if I'm being honest, but, I mean, I'm sure they'll just adapt and put, like, a strong Dark type on it. Speaking of that, though, are there actually, like, any good Dark types? That's Darkrai. Dark types. Like, what's our best Dark type? Obviously, it's King Gambit, who we haven't got to yet. I mean, that's good ones. Hydreigon, Titar, Gambit are all really solid. Obviously, Incin, Meowscarada are pretty good, too. I mean, we're actually really thin on Dark types. Yeah, maybe Psyspam actually is going to be that good. It's probably why King Gambit's actually also going to be, like, top of the usage chart, which was, like, the next one we were literally going to get to. Yeah, Gambit's obviously going to be insane. Giraffe is also going to be fucking insane. Golden Go is going to be insane. Baxcalibur is back so big. And then, like, Bridge Rain's going to be wild. And Hydraplin, like, honestly... Oh, wrong one. Oh, my God. I'm so bad at this. Hydraplin, dude. Like, look at this shit, man. This mon here is literally the Blood Moon Ursaluna answer. It's just, like, you just go something like this. It's like, hey, I am the answer to Blood Moon Ursaluna. You just go, like, I don't know, like, Leaf Storm or something, right? It's like, this is it. This is the guy, yeah? You slap an Assault Vest on this thing. Its bulk is insane. It's naturally slower, so you go something like Quiet Nature. Dude. My best XQC impersonation. This is going sicko. This is going sicko, man. Like, this is your Blood Moon Ursaluna answer. It also beats your water types. This is your Dondozo answer as well. It's also your Palafin answer. Like, this mon's gonna be really good. Like, it's gonna be really good, man. You like, and the best part is, you go up against fucking Dozo, you start dropping Dracos, man, and you want to wear. I will say, though, I wouldn't be surprised if Dozo stops going unaware and they start running Oblivious. Big reason for that, obviously, is just going to be, like, Incin. Oh, dude. My scene's wrong. Oh, I'm so bad at this. I'm not a professional. I apologize. But yeah, you guys get what I mean. This format's looking sick. I'm probably gonna end it here just because like I gotta go have dinner and then I gotta prepare for the video tonight. But yeah, I'm sure you guys are. I'm so fucking excited. I genuinely think it's gonna be the best format we've had for the entirety of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Yeah, of course, guys, let me know down below what you guys think. I'm so ecstatic, man. I can't wait for this format. Dude, like it feels so bad. We're like 2 weeks away from Worlds, and I want to be excited for Worlds, but like I'm looking at this shit, dude, and I'm like, damn, I'm about to go so fucking crazy, man. And again, like I want to go in depth on this right now, but like, stick around, boys. Me and the boys, we're gonna be talking about this. Like literally, I'm meant to be recording with them in an hour, so I'm gonna finish this, go fucking eat. I'm coming back to record. I'm gonna be dressed in the exact same thing, but it's fine. The videos will be like 2-3 hours apart. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna end it here before I start fucking rambling on too much. Yeah. Let me know, guys. Let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll catch you later tonight. Peace.